Hi, welcome to Fusion Beads. Today I'm going to show you how to create our Zip It Up bracelet. This bracelet is made using 2x5 black, white, blue luster duet SuperDuo seed beads. These beads are unique because unlike the original two-hole SuperDuos, they have two tones, one on each side. And on this bead you can see that one side is black and then the other is this pretty white-blue luster. I'll also be using size 11 seed beads in matte metallic sky blue to create a fun picot edge along the bracelet. I picked this color because it goes perfectly with this white-blue luster side of the Duet SuperDuo bead. And then these two 5mm Swarovski crystal black pearl beads will be used for the closure at the end. I picked the black because it goes perfectly with the black side of the Duet SuperDuo bead. I'll also be weaving with the smoke gray 6-pound size D Fireline braided bead thread. This thread is extremely strong and is ideal for weaving crystals, gemstones, or other beads that may have sharp edges around the holes. This size 12 beading needle are longer than a standard sewing needle and also a lot more durable, and it's easier to weave through harder turns and bends in bead weaving stitches. And then finally, to trim the thread, I'll be using my favorite Xuron thread and fiber scissors. These scissors will easily cut tons of threads used for bead weaving, including the Fireline. To start, you want to thread about 6 feet of Fireline onto your beading needle. And at the end of your thread, about 1 foot or more from the end, you're going to want to put a bead stopper. And you're going to use this length for one end of your clasp at the end. So just attach your bead stopper, and this is going to keep any beads from falling off when you're working on your project. Okay, now to start, we're going to want to pick up 2 of the duet beads, and we're going to want to pick up 1 duet bead with the black side facing first, and then the next one is going to be with the blue side. You just bring it down. As you can see, during, again, this whole bracelet, you're going to want the blue to just be on the inside, and the black side is going to be on the outside. Now at this point, you want to grab 2 size 11 seed beads, bring them down. I'm going to move these scissors out of the way so I don't snag my thread. And now we add 2 more duets. Black side first, then the blue side. Bring that down. And that's going to be your first little row. And now to make your turn and go into the second row, we're going to create that little picot edge, and that is going to be with 3 seed beads. And then you're going to want to go through the second hole of this duet bead and just thread through. Now in between these 2 duets, we're going to add just 2 more. So we're going to do black side first, then the blue side for the second one. Bring them down. And now at this point, just want to hold it all together. You're going to want to go through, there's these 2 middle duets, and you want to go through the second hole of both of those. And once you do that, those 2 previous guys are going to just pretty much lock into place and create that nice little V for that column. Now we just want to repeat that for the second side. It's going to be black side of the duet first and then the blue side. And then you're going to go through the second hole of that last duet bead in that first row. And that is just going to pretty much just have those go right into place. And now we're going to want to create our third row. So to do that, we want to turn, and with that we're going to add 3 size 11 seed beads, and then go through that second hole of that last duet that we added. Just keep your tension tight. And that creates that nice little picot edge. And now at this point, we're just going to add 2 more duets, black side first, then the blue. I'm just going to keep going and do the same thing as the previous row, which go through the second hole of these 2 middle duets. And that's going to get those right there nice and snug in place. So we're going to do 2 more duet beads, black side first, then the blue. And then you're going to go through that second hole of that last duet bead. And just put those right into place. And we're just going to kind of keep repeating that pattern. So adding 3 more size 11 seed beads to create that picot edge and to go into our next row. So you go through that second hole of that last duet that we added. And it's just going to create that nice little edge there. And then once again, pick up a duet with the black side first, and then with the blue side for the second one. Go through those 2 middle, the second hole of those 2 middle duets from the previous row. Pull tight, and we'll just lock them right into place. And do that one more time. The black side first, then the blue. Then go through that last second hole of the duet. Pull tight. Turn for the next row, adding those 3 size 11 seed beads. Going through that second hole of that last duet that we added. Adding 2 duet beads, black side first for the first one, blue side first for the second. And then once again going through the second hole of those 2 middle duet beads from the previous row. And then we're just going to do that one more time. Black side for the first duet, blue side for the second. And you just go through that second hole of that last duet bead from the previous row. Just locks into place. You can see that this bracelet mimics a nice herringbone stitch and creates these 2 columns of V's. And having the black on the outside and the blue on the inside is creating this cool zipper look on both sides. And what you're going to want to do at this point is just keep going until you reach your desired length. Mine's going to be about 7 inches, and I'm going to finish that up, and I will be right back. Okay, so now you can see that I have my 7-inch length here, and I'm ready to start one end of my clasp. So to do that, you want to make sure that your thread is going to be coming this direction. So once you do your last picot edge, you want it to go through the second hole of that SuperDuo, so it will be inside this first column, this first little V here, and that's where you want to start your clasp. So once you're right there, you're just going to add 2 size 11 seed beads and go through the second hole of these 2 middle duets. And you're just going to grab 2 more of the seed beads. Do that one more time, going through that last, or the second hole, that last duet. And those are just going to fit nicely right inside those little V's in those columns. And now for this last little edge here, instead of doing a 3-bead picot edge, you're only going to need 1 bead, so 1 seed bead. And then you're just going to go back through the second hole of that last duet. So that guy just stays nicely right outside there. And you're going to be starting this end of the clasp, coming out inside of that second hole right there. So now you want to add 3 seed beads, 1 5mm pearl, and then 1 more seed bead. Now you want to skip this last seed bead and you want to go through this 5mm pearl and then the size 11 seed bead right below it. You just pull tight, make sure it's nice and tight next to the beadwork. Okay, and now you want to add 2 more size 11s. And you're going to want to go through the second hole of these 2 middle SuperDuos. So through that middle guy, and then this second one here. You're going to just want to come out that other end. And now we're just going to repeat for this other guy. So 3 seed beads, 1 5mm pearl, and then 1 more seed bead. Then you're going to skip this last seed bead, just go through that 5mm pearl and through the seed bead right below it, just that one. Pull tight, make sure it's nice and snug. And then we add 2 more seed beads. And we're going to go through that second hole of that last duet. There you have one end of your clasp. And now what you're going to want to do is reinforce your thread or your piece and bring your thread down a couple of rows to secure it. And since the holes don't really line up, so you kind of have to go one by one until you reach a few rows down. Just keep following that thread path. And I'm just going to go down one more row so it's nice and secure. Okay, so then once you get to the end, oops, let's go through that little guy. Might take a little wiggling. Okay, so then once you get to the end, after you go down a few rows, it should be nice and secure. So then we're just going to go ahead and use these scissors, cut them as close as you can to the beadwork. There you'll have one end of your clasp complete. Now we just have to do the loop end. Okay, so now that we've created one end of the clasp, we're going to go ahead and do the other end, which will be the loop end, and that's going to be created with that 1 foot tail of fire line that we had at the beginning of our beadwork. So what you need to do is just take off your bead stopper and then make sure you thread your needle onto this fire line, and then you're going to go ahead and pick up 17 seed beads. And I went ahead and did that already, so you can go ahead and see that you're just going to be coming out where you left off, which is through just the second hole of that last SuperDuo Duet. You string those 17 seed beads, you bring them down to your beadwork, and then what you want to do is go through that third seed bead that you strung. So you just count 3 up, and then you just go back down that little guy. Pull tight. You want to make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, and that creates your loop. And then what you want to do is you're just going to string 2 more size 11 seed beads. And you're going to go through those 2 seed beads that were made in the very first row that you created in this bracelet. So just through those 2 seed beads. Pull tight, and that's going to create your first loop. And now we just want to repeat that for the second side here. So you're just going to get 17 size 11 seed beads. And 17. Okay, just bring it down to the end of your beadwork here. And same thing, you're just going to go through that third seed bead that you strung. So 1, 2, 3. And pull tight. Make sure it's nice and snug. There we go. Okay, creates the loop. And then add 2 more size 11 seed beads. And what you're going to do with this end is you're going to go back in the second hole of this last duet. To make that second loop there. And now that you have those guys all made, you're just going to want to go back and reinforce and secure your thread. So with this side, it's going to be nice and easy to go back through your loops to reinforce these loops, make them a little bit more secure. And you can do the same thing with the other end with the pearl. And if you want to, the thread path isn't as easy, but you can find your way back to reinforce that end as well. Just go through all 17 seed beads. Okay. And then you're going to get to the end of the first loop here and just go through those 2 seed beads that were strung in that first row at the beginning of the bracelet. And then reinforce this second loop here, going through all 17 beads. Okay, then once you get to the end here, after you go through those last 2 seed beads, I'm going to actually go through that last picot edge here. So these 3 size 11 seed beads. So then it kind of just makes a nice little curve down. I'm going to go through that duet bead right there. It gets a little harder because the holes aren't really lining up perfectly, so you just kind of gotta wiggle your way in there to reinforce it, but not too hard because you don't want to break your beads. Okay, and I'm just gonna go to the end of this row, and I think that that should do it. Go. This needle's getting a little crooked, but as long as we make it through to the end, we'll be good. One more. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I think that should do it. Then all you need to do is take your scissors and cut close to the beadwork, and you are done. So now you can see both ends are finished here, and when you're done, they're just going to be able to secure like that. You can find this Zip It Up bracelet along with the product list and step-by-step instructions in our inspiration gallery at fusionbeads.com.